How's everybody doing today? This is Corey Lee's Boxing, and we are back with another banger. So please smash that like button, you guys, and subscribe. And yeah, man, I want to talk Deontay Wilder versus Joseph Parker. It went down, you guys. If you guys have been under a shelter or just been in the house, been out of the way, wow, it was a big card in Saudi Arabia today or earlier today, and man, it was a stacked card, man. And none of the fights disappointed. Bivol was a little, but you know, all of the other fighters like the Jarrell Miller, Daniel Dubois, all of those fights were good. Um, it was pretty much all knockouts as well too. The Bivol and Wilder fight, I believe, were the two that did not get knockouts. I believe all of the other ones got knockouts. Smash that like button and subscribe. And so yeah, man, the upset possibly of the year. Deontay Wilder gets, you know, stunned and shocked by and almost frozen in the ring by Joseph Parker. Big shout out to Andy Lee, and his trainer and stuff like that. And you know, it was an awesome game plan. Pretty much what Parker did was stay out of the line of fire of that right hand, which it was easier said than done. We've seen a lot of opponents try to do that, but what do they say? 42 have tried and 42 have failed. 40 between 41 and 42, 43 knockouts. I mean, you guys got to understand Deontay Wilder, the bronze bomber Wilder, you know, was pretty much, frozen tonight. I mean, his punch output was very low. Um, you know, I highly doubt he landed 5 to 10 punches around. I'm averaging between, 2 to 4 punches per round. I mean, they just looked, it just really looked like, I don't even think Deontay Wilder landed a punch in the first round. I mean, and I'm not trying to knock the guy, but I'm just being honest. He just didn't have it tonight. He didn't bring it. I thought, you know, Joseph Parker really showed the heart and the grit it took to be a world champion again. And to be honest with you, man, you know, music right now would wash the shit out of Wilder. I mean, and I've been saying this for the last 4 to 5 years. I've been saying this. Usyk was the best heavyweight, period. Deontay Wilder is 38 years old, you guys. You know, has his best years passed him? I'm gonna say yeah, you know. And I really truly think that that Fury fight took a lot out of Wilder. But I'm not trying to discredit Parker. Awesome game plan. He was pumping the jab out, all night. He was roughing up. He was bringing the fight to Wilder. That was the name of the game. He was actually bringing the fight to Wilder. And Wilder had no answer for it at all. He had no answer for it. Um, but, you know, there's been some stuff made of, Deontay Wilder and him trying out, you know, new things, like life changing stuff. Like he, went out and he tried, he pretty much tried some stuff that is called, let me get the name of it for you guys. It's called So yeah, I'm back, man. So like I'm saying, the stuff that he took, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, it might have helped him, it might not have. It's called Ayoski. Excuse me if I'm butchering that, but yeah, man, he took it. Whatever the case is, he had a life changing experience. Um, and he says, he says, this is what it says. It says Deontay Wilder, the 38-year-old athlete, has undergone a significant personal transformation, attributing attributing it to a unique experience involving a South American psychedelic drug during a retreat in Costa Rica. Um, so yeah, man. It says, despite setbacks, including a loss to Fury and a subsequent rebound victory on Robert Helenius, Wilder remains focused on his comeback and potential clash with uh, with fellow heavyweight contender Anthony Joshua. But he says the pivotal moment in Wilder's journey appears to be linked to his encounter with Ioska, and it's you guys got to understand it's from the leaves and a stem of a jungle vine native to the Amazon rainforest. He says this is what Wilder says about the drug. It says, "Hey man, ayahuasca has been it's been one of the top things in my life that I'm glad that I've experienced." Wow. So I mean, it had to be that much life changing for him to actually say that, man. Like I said, I don't know too much about it. He says, ayahuasca. Excuse me if I'm butchering it too, you guys. But it says has done some beautiful things for a lot of individuals, not only just including myself, where they brought affirmation to their life or some type of understanding of the path that they are running in their life. Wow. So I mean, like I said, I'm not a professional on the drug that he took, but I know that his killer instinct is not. Crypto Colors, what's happening? Mason in the chat. What's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing it in the chat, man? Deontay Wilder loses, you guys. The Bronze Bomber is, fizzled out tonight. Or should I say last night? I mean, during the day, excuse me. It was the fight happened about what is it, 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time. Um, so yesterday evening. But wow, man, Wilder looked completely off, frozen. His punch output was terrible. He wasn't pressing the action or anything. I mean, he was literally dancing around the ring, you know. And Joseph Parker, to his credit, buzzed and hurt Deontay Wilder on more than one occasion. I really truly feel like Joseph Parker could have stopped Deontay Wilder. I really truly believe that Joseph Parker could have stopped him. All he had to do was put his foot on the freaking gas pedal and mash the gas, and I think he could have got him out of there. Because you guys got to understand, Deontay Wilder's legs are already small, and I mean he had literally no legs under him, you know, in the later rounds. I feel like you know Parker is just a bigger, physically more demanding man than Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder came in at a 213 pounds, you guys. I mean, Joseph Parker was upwards of 250. So I mean, you guys got to understand that there's a difference. I mean, Wilder was almost giving up, you know, 30 to 40 pounds, of muscle. And Josh, and excuse me, I keep trying to call him Joshua. Joshua fought after Wilder, and this was the fight that we wanted to see. But this pretty much ruined any chance we got right now. I believe, man. Um, but yeah, Parker was about 30 to 40 pounds heavier than Wilder. Um, and it showed. He was roughing up Wilder. He was taking the fight to Wilder, and Wilder had no answer. Wilder had no answer. And the scorecards reflected that. I believe it was like 118 to 110. Um, I mean, it was a 12-round fight, man, but I could have possibly gave Wilder 2 rounds, being generous. Um, but Wilder didn't do enough, man. Wilder did not do enough, man. And the rounds I would give Wilder, they were probably close too. I mean, there were no clear cut where you're like, Wilder dominated that round. Because I feel like Parker was the one bringing the fight to Wilder, not Wilder bringing the fight to Parker. You know, I mean, it literally looked like Wilder was just literally trying to just defend himself. I mean, it didn't look like he wanted any type of. It just looked wild, man. I never seen Deontay Wilder look like this in a fight, ever, ever. I mean, never. I mean, you know, did the one fight in 2 years, did that have an effect on what we seen just now? Out of Wilder's, camp, and the way he runs his camp and the way he does his training, and one fight in 2 years, has that had an effect? Has Deontay Wilder been put on the shelf too damn long, where he's gunshot now? Because that's what it looked like to me. It looked like he couldn't let off, man. He couldn't pull the trigger. So it's almost like at this point, in Wilder's career, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna say rebuild, but I'm definitely gonna say in 2024, get 3 good fights underneath you before you get in the ring with these top guys again. You know, Joesph Parker showed last evening that he's a top tier heavyweight. Yeah, he lost to Anthony Joshua. You know, yeah, he lost to Anthony Joshua. Yes, he lost to Joe Joyce. Got stopped by Joe Joyce. You know, but I think that was an accumulation of punches and the lack of defense um, that Joesph Parker had. Joesph Parker had good defense against Wilder tonight, man. Had good defense, man. You know, I'm not taking anything away from him, man. He had pretty good defense. Shit, he was able to, get out of the range of that right hand all night, man. You know, yeah, Wilder hit him a couple times, but I didn't feel like Parker was ever dazed or phased in the fight. He had all his bearings with him at all times. Wilder was the one that didn't have all his bearings with him and was off, you know, last night. I mean, Wilder was getting hit with stuff that if they were a little bit more flush, Wilder would have been out of there last night. There's no doubt in my mind that same Wilder, I feel like if Parker was just a little bit more aggressive, if he believed in his punches just a little bit more, he could have got Wilder out of there. Just like Daniel Dubois did Jarrell Miller in the fight before. Jarrell Miller was getting punished all fight. And then a miracle happened in the a miracle happened in the 10th and final round with about 20 15 to 20 seconds left. I'll say about 30, I say about 30 to 45 seconds, the onslaught, started. And Daniel Dubois let off a series of punches, you guys, for about 30 seconds straight, to stop Jarrell Big Baby Miller, okay, in the 10th and final round with only 20 seconds or less left, you know? I mean, when you stop a guy with 20 seconds left, you know, in the entire fight, that shows that you wanted that shit. That's the dog that Daniel Dubois can have in his mind, in his body. I mean, he has the power to stop any heavyweight. He has the power to stop any heavyweight. It's the mental part. And when I tell you Daniel Dubois was probably the happiest guy all night, I think Daniel Dubois showed last night that he can fight at the top level. And I'm not saying Jarrell Miller is the top of the top heavyweights, you know, but you know, Daniel Dubois is a good B-level fighter, possibly A-level fighter. He's got A-level power. You know what I'm saying? Let's just call a spade a spade. He's got A-level power. So, you know, A-class power. I mean, high velocity. I mean, the guy can stop you for sure. Some of those punches that Jarrell Big Baby Miller was getting hit with, other guys would have got folded up by then. Being that Jarrell Big Baby Miller was about 330 pounds coming into the fight, that absorbed some of the punishment. And I think that actually, hurt Jarrell Miller as well because, I mean, he was getting hit with flush shots all night long. And you guys got to understand the effect that could possibly have on Jarrell Big Baby Miller, knowing his past steroid use, knowing that he's 330 pounds, knowing that he doesn't have a whole lot of, you know, head movement. I mean, he was literally walking into some of these punches and literally walking through them, to be honest with you, until the 10th and final round and until about 20 seconds left. Jarrell Big Baby Miller was walking through Daniel Dubois' punches like it was a fucking cakewalk. Laughing at him at times, smiling at him, you know. But yeah, man, that's all I wanted to talk about, you guys. I wanted to talk about the Wilder fight. I wound up talking about the Jarrell Big Baby Miller, you know, fight with Daniel Dubois. It's an awesome fight, man. But yeah, man, shout out to Crypto Colors. He says Wilder lacks the fundamentals. He has no defense when he fights. And it says one that has skills. You could see how much Wilder is missing in the skill department. I mean, I'm not even gonna say it's skill. I'm just gonna say is lack of, you know, pressing on the gas. You had zero urgency. Deontay Wilder had zero urgency. I mean, Deontay Wilder looked like he was in a freaking sparring session and he was getting the ass end of it. You know what I mean? You know, he was getting worked in a sparring session. I mean, Deontay Wilder was really not trying to engage. It's almost like he was working on something. I mean, but what the hell were you working on when you had no offense? Deontay Wilder had minimal offense at best all night long. And I mean, excuse me, Deontay Wilder's trainer, you know, listen, man. And I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect. I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect. With Deontay Wilder and his camp, I'm not trying to, bash him but you lost. And you didn't take just a regular loss. You got bested. completely. You know, it was a lopsided win for Parker. You know, a lot of people lost a lot of fucking money on Wilder last night, man. And Wilder looked like he could give a fuck less. I changed my pick at the last minute for Joesph after the third or fourth round. I changed my pick. You guys, Bees from Ringside Report. I sent it to him because I was like, yo, Joesph Parker is staying at perfect distance. So he's out of range and he's able to lunge in and get his own shots off without Wilder really countering. You know, so I mean, he started doing that all night and it had success in the first 3 to 4 rounds. It was a clean slate the first 4 rounds. When I seen Joesph Parker, win the first 3 to 4 rounds decisively like that, I literally got out of my bet. I had Wilder by TKO or KO. I literally put my pick, which saved me probably $500. You know, I changed my pick to, you know, Joesph Parker by points. Now I did get shook. I'm not gonna lie, I did get shook when Parker hurt Wilder. I thought he was gonna end him, yo. I really did because I mean, I don't know if these fighters don't have this killer instinct or what, but you can visibly see that Wilder was hurt from the TV screen. I don't know if we got angles that he can't see or what, but it's like, dude, Wilder was visibly hurt, man, in this fight, man. Visibly. Visibly. I mean, visibly, man. Wilder's 38 years old, though, you guys. But one thing I'm going to say I didn't like, man, about Malik Scott, shout out to Malik Scott, you know. But what I didn't like is after the fight was over, okay, Malik Scott is out there, taking the gloves off of Wilder. And he's got this and he's fucking laughing. I couldn't get it right here. Okay, I couldn't get it right here, but this was Malik Scott the night of the fight in the ring right after the loss. This guy had one of the biggest smiles, man. And I'm not trying to bash, Wilder or his trainer or anything like that, but I'm calling a spade a spade. Why in the fuck are you laughing? Your fighter just got beat in pretty much all facets of the game. You know, speed, ring intelligence, ring IQ, power shots, jab. Even the jab of Parker was better than Wilder's. You know, I mean, what the fuck were y'all doing in training camp, man? I mean, come on. That shit looked awful, bro. And I know a lot of motherfuckers lost some money last night, man. You can't sit here and tell me that y'all did not lose any money last night betting on Wilder, man. Because I know everybody and their grandma thought Wilder was going to get the knockout. Wilder was a minus 600 going into the fight. Okay? But another reason why I changed my bet to you guys is because, you know what? I'll show you guys my bet because there's no reason. There's no reason to lie. Just one of them. You know? And I mean, you guys got to understand, man, like, enough's enough. Enough's enough. So I don't know, man. I just feel like right now Deontay Wilder showed that, there he just got outed, man. Point blank period. Foul player in the chat, he says you were right all along about Usyk being the top heavyweight. Today's card proves it. and he ain't even fight today. I try to tell you guys, man. I've been telling you guys on this channel for 5 straight years, bro, and I've stand firm on it. Everybody laughed at me. Shout out to Blue Blood, but even they were, saying shit like, friendly shit, but they were just saying like, yo, Corey, you really think Usyk's the best heavyweight? And I was saying that shit, while, Deontay Wilder was a WBC champion of the world, you know? But I really truly think that Wilder is not the same fighter, and I don't think he'll ever be the same fighter. I think the Bronze Bomber is gone, man. I hate to write him off like that. I hate to, put my brother down like that, but this is boxing. And at some point you gotta call a spade, especially if you're covering the sport. You know, Wilder's best days are fucking behind him, straight up. Straight up. You know. The shit I seen last night was was just what are you doing? What are you doing? If I could ever interview Wilder, man, that's the one question I would ask him, man. And I really would want a real, definitive, you know, elaborate, you know what I mean, answer. Just literally think about it. Like, what the fuck were you doing all night? What were you doing? For 12 rounds, what were you doing? You threw a total of possibly, I don't got the punch stats right in front of me, man. But there's no way Wilder landed more than 10 punches per round. There is no way possible. I mean, his output was so low. I mean, I've never seen Wilder. I mean, he was literally just losing rounds, you know, from round 1 through 5 or 6. I mean, it was a landslide for Parker, you know. 913 Boxer says Wilder is old, inactive, and lacks the fundamentals. People keep saying Wilder's lacking fundamentals, man. But I'm telling you, shout out to 913 Box. He says he looked old. He couldn't pull the trigger. That's what I'm saying. I don't think fundamental. I think he knows his fundamentals. That's why, you know, he wasn't getting hit as much. He was still getting hit, but he wasn't getting hit as much. A lot of those punches Parker hit him with in the first, 7 or 8 rounds, none of them were really flush. He was touching them, but he wasn't really hurting Wilder. He wasn't really doing it because Wilder was on his feet. Wilder was on his bike all night. You know what I mean? And I really think that's why Wilder didn't get knocked out last night. If Wilder wasn't on his bike all night last night, like I seen him, you know, if Wilder wasn't on his bike all night last night, he would have got iced, man, completely. You know, because in about the 9th or 10th round, Wilder's feet were damn near gone. You know, I mean, he was damn near gone. I mean, Parker hit him with like a clean 2-3 piece. And, Wilder, was on shaky legs. He had jello legs for a minute, man. He didn't know where the fuck he was at for a minute. He wound up holding Parker and making it out of the round because the round wound up ending. But, yeah, Wilder almost got stopped last night. Let's call it a spade a spade. Let's just put it all out there. Because this ain't no fanboy channel, so I ain't going to act like it's one. I've been saying Wilder could get beat. You know what I mean? This ain't the first time I'm saying this. And it ain't going to be the last. Because I know he's going to continue to fight. Wilder needs to stop having yes men around him, man. But I can't tell a fighter how to live his life. He lived his life, and look, he's got way more money than I do. Shit. He lived his life. He played his cards the way he played them, and that's what he was dealt. But I think from seeing that performance, I think Wilder should retire because I think he could start getting hurt after a while. Now you got all your barons, you got your family, you got your kids, you got everything you need in life and more. You know, why keep fighting, yo? You know, Parker's not even known for knocking dudes unconscious and, being that, you know, big puncher, that we know you to be, Wilder. But last night we couldn't tell who had the power. To be honest, I thought Parker was more powerful than you last night. You know, dude, when I seen Wilder weigh in at 213, that was a red flag to me. Maybe not to you guys, people saying that was his fighting shape and, he's good at that weight. I mean, I guess, man. I would have rather seen Wilder at like 218, 220, at least, 8 to 10 more pounds of muscle, man. Especially to deal with a motherfucker like Joesph Parker. Joesph Parker was throwing Wilder around like you know, he wasn't standing on shit. You know? Shout out to Charles D in the chat. My brother was happening. You know what I mean? Was happening. Yeah. You already know what the business. So yeah, foul play in the chat says 0 legs from Wilder. His legs look dramatically worse and worse since Fury 2. It's like he's not working on his legs anymore. Dude gets stunned and his legs are all over the place. You stun Wilder once and it's like his bell's ringing for the entire rest of the fight. You know, it's like soon as and I really truly think that has a lot to do with that Tyson Fury fight. We're seeing, I truly believe that we're seeing the effects of Tyson Fury, bashing him and punishing Wilder for 3 fights. I'm gonna say 2 fights, but the first fight, Fury was winning. He was hitting, Wilder flush with those jabs and shit too. So you can't take the first fight out of the equation, you know. Smash that fucking like button. Let's get the likes up, man. I know I don't go live much, but y'all know where the fire at, man. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Y'all know where the fire's at, man. Foul play in the chat says Parker's corner was excellent last night. I mean, yeah. Andy Lee's a good coach. He knows the fundamentals. He was a good boxer back in his day. I know he lost to, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., which that turned out to be a terrible loss. But I mean, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his prime was a weight bully, and it worked. You know what I'm saying? It really worked because he came in massive the next day. Pause. But I mean, you guys got to understand, Andy Lee, it was a good fighter back in his day. Beat Korobov, I believe, which was a highly touted prospect. Very good, amateur. Very, very good amateur standout in Korobov, Matt Korobov. This same Matt Korobov that a lot of people, including me, thought beat Charlo. This is the Andy Lee that trained Joesph Parker to get the W. I'm letting you guys know the origins of this shit. You know what I mean? I don't have nothing. I have my computer in front of me, but that shit's not pulled up. That's just not pulled up. That's just not pulled up. So like I said, right now, you guys, Deontay Wilder it's looking bad for the kid right now. 913 in the chat says his downfall was when he fired Breland. Yeah, I said that, man. I said that shit. I said that, man. I said that. And I was talking to DC Mike on the phone while this fight was going on. And I said, man, ever since he got rid of Mark Breland, his career has not been the same. And we can blame it on a number of things, but I know Mark Breland wasn't no motherfucking yes man. Excuse my language, but he was not a yes man. You know what I mean? Oh, Wilder, let me get your back. Let me get your leg. You know, like, let me, what? I mean, like, I know you got to have guys that look out for you and that, you know, make sure your body's in tip-top shape. But to the extent I feel like some of his camp goes to, from what I can see on video, it just looks like, yeah, they're showing Wilder love, but it's almost like, damn, it's, you know, do you tell him when he's wrong? You know, do you tell him when he's, you know, not throwing enough punches? You know what I'm saying? At all? The entire fight? I mean, I don't know, man. Malik Scott, look, man. And like I said, who's to say that life experience, you guys, that you know Wilder had with that shit called ayahuasca, or whatever the fuck that shit is. Who's to say that drug didn't affect Wilder, man? He said it was a life-changing type of experience. You know, one of the top things that he's done in life is you know, smoke this shit or whatever the hell this shit was. You know, I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm not gonna speak real heavy on it, you know, but I'm gonna tell you guys that he has done it. You know, that's on record. You know, and like I said, I'm not against any of that. I'm not, you know, I don't know really a whole lot about that. But what the fuck is that? You know what I'm saying? Like, what? I feel like last night you didn't have that killer instinct, you know? You didn't have that, okay, motherfucker. You know, I let 5 to 6, 7, 8 rounds go. Let me get on the gas pedal. I didn't see that out of Wilder last night at all. Smash that like button, man. Let's get these likes up for sure. You know, I didn't see that though. I just didn't see that. Charles D in the chat says Wilder is done. To be honest with you, and I hate to agree with you right now, Charles D. I hate to do it. I hate to do it because I don't want to do it. You know, I think Wilder is awesome for the heavyweight division, man. I think he's awesome for the heavyweight division. I think he's awesome for the heavyweight division. But like, what the fuck was that, man? What was that? That performance was horrible. Facts. And I can see how people are saying Wilder's done. Shit. If his camp stays the same, I feel like it's gonna be the same results. This version of Wilder's not beating anybody at the top level. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not happening. And was a good fighter. Great fighter. But no, Wilder's not going to beat any top heavyweights from what we just seen. From what we just seen, Wilder's not beating any of the top heavyweights at all. Charles D says Parker is the better boxer and 6 years younger. 7 years younger. Parker's 31. Wilder's 38. 7 years younger. You know? And you guys got to understand, for him to be that much younger, yeah, people might say his best days was past him, but shit, he a whole lot younger and a whole lot fresher. I feel like, and you guys got to understand, yeah, you know, Parker's, you know, took some L's. He's got 3 losses. I mean, shit, we're not going to talk. Let's talk about Parker for a minute. Smash that like button, man. I'm giving y'all the live stream of the year, man. Buckle up. Put your seatbelt on, man. It's going to be a rocky road, man, for sure. You know? Just like the shit I seen last night, man. It was rocky. It was like, well, what are we seeing? It was so many highs and lows on this card too, man. You know, the new prospect from Eye of the Tiger, I can't even pronounce his last name. He got stopped from what I seen. That was the only fight that I missed. I do want to see that. I believe his name's Cabal. Beat him, stopped him. Smash that like button. But yeah, Parker has 3 losses. Okay. Parker has 3 losses. I'm not taking anything away from Parker. Parker has 3 losses. Straight up. You know. But the 3 losses that he has 1 loss. You know, I believe he lost to Dillian White. Okay. He lost to Anthony Joshua. Okay. And then he lost to Joe Joyce. A knockout loss to Joe Joyce. Okay. Out of all 3 of those fights, the only rough, with that he took a whole lot of punishment in was the Joe Joyce fight. Wilder had 3 of those motherfuckers, if not more. We don't know how much, we've seen Wilder get buzzed before, you know. So we seen Wilder get buzzed in the Luis Ortiz fight. So I mean, let's not act like he's never gotten buzzed before. So, you know, I just feel like for Wilder to be 213, how much punishment, how much do you think you can absorb the punches from Joesph Parker that was, north of 250? And you guys got to understand, Parker for this fight, he had, I believe he had 3 fights going into this fight. He had 3 fights going into this fight, which is awesome. Which is awesome. But right now, man, Parker, you know, he looked like the fresher fighter. He looked like the younger fighter. He looked like the more determined fighter. And he just looked like it's like he didn't buy the hype, man. You know, if you look back at Parker looked relaxed the whole fucking time leading up into this fight. You know, it's like he didn't believe any of the shit that they were telling him. It's like he believed what the fuck whatever Tyson Fury told Joesph Parker, he believed it. You know, whatever he told Joesph Parker, he believed it. So this is 3 losses in the past 3 years. He lost to Tyson Fury in 2020. He lost to Tyson Fury in 2021. And he lost to Joesph Parker in 2023. This is 3 losses for Deontay Wilder in the last 3 years. In 3 out of the 4 losses in his last 4 fights. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, Wilder needs like 2 to 3 good, get back fights to even be considered to fight for that belt, or to be at that top level. In my eyes, he's still not the same person, man. That first Tyson Fury fight, that very first Tyson Fury fight, Wilder had a chance to win the whole thing, and to end all of this shit right here. I don't think any of this shit would have happened. He would have won that first fight. But here we are, man. 3 Tyson Fury fights, and a Robert Helenius, pretty much layup. I mean, he got rid of him quick as shit. And then we're back at Joesph Parker again. Joesph Parker again. Wilder's, oh yeah, here we go. Charles D says, ain't shit, Brody. Solid night of boxing, man. Awesome night of boxing. I was thoroughly entertained. I was thoroughly entertained. I was like, man, this is what a motherfucker would spend some money on, man. And don't have a problem doing it. And don't have a problem doing it, man. Man, last night's card was one of the best cards I've seen all year, man. Hands down, from top to bottom. I watched the first fight. Frank Sanchez came on that bitch first at about 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And I watched the entire card, yo, and enjoyed it. Yes, I did. It was a good card, man. Frank Warren came together with Eddie Hearn, and they put a beautiful and even, Al Heyman. It was Al Heyman, Frank Warren, and Eddie Hearn, and Eye of the Tiger Promotions. Can't remember his name, but David Lemieux's old promoter. And that was another point. It was like 4 or 5 or 6 different promoters that were in this card. That's why this card was so stacked, and that's why it was, such an awesome card. And you had like 4 or 5 promoters working with each other, man. That's probably the first time in some shit, probably in history. This is probably the first card in history that many promoters work with each other on one card, on one card, on one card, on one card. You had Al Heyman, you had Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, the guy from Eye of the Tigers Promotions. And I believe it was 1 or 2 others. So, I mean, that's a lot of promoters, man. That's a lot of promoters, man. You know. And it was an awesome night. It was an awesome night of fights, man. It's an awesome night of fights, man. Foul player in the chat says Andy Lee beat Quillen too, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Andy Lee, Southpaw, man. Southpaw. Foul player says Wilder's Oakasa was laced with fentanyl. Hey, that's wild as shit, bro. What the fuck? Oh man. I don't know what the fuck it was, but I'm just saying, man. Wilder, he just didn't have that killer instinct, man. It's like, dude, you down 7, 8 rounds. What the fuck are you doing? Press on the gas, please. Some told me to just take my money out in the third round, I think. It was like the end of the third round. And I was just like, man, I think Wilder gonna get. I think Parker can win this fight, man. I don't know what, because normally motherfuckers be, say that and then he'll get knocked out later on. But, I had put down, a significant amount of money, on the fight. And I was like, yo, I'm ready to take a major L. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, not even a major, just taking an L period, and you can fix it, do it. So I cashed out, put all that money that I still had left, and I put it on. I put it on to go over 6.5. No, I put it on Joesph Parker. And then I believe I put some on. I put some of it on for it to go past 6.5 rounds. I put for it to go past 6.5 rounds for the fight even started, though. I already had that bet in. I already won that bet. But I say about the third or fourth round in, I changed my bet, yo. I had Wilder by knockout. You know what I mean? Wilder by knockout. And that I really didn't see. I didn't see any type of urgency. I really didn't see shit for the first 3 to 4 rounds. So that's what made my pick even easier. I'm like, this dude Wilder, what the fuck is he doing? I'm like, I ain't betting on this dude, man. I'm like, fuck no. Hell no. I don't see anything that Wilder was doing at the time for me to put my money on him. So I said, no, I'm out of here. Put that joint on Joesph Parker points, because you guys got to understand, I got the Joesph Parker points for like plus 200. Like plus, yeah, like almost plus 200. So, you know, you doing more than doubling up on that, you know. So it all worked out for the kid, and I'm grateful. But Wilder, I don't know what the fuck you was thinking, because I know a lot of people put money on Wilder for the knockout. I know they did, bro. And y'all got bamboozled, man. If y'all knew the type of Wilder that was coming into that ring, y'all wouldn't have put y'all money on Wilder. You know, I didn't know that type of Wilder was gonna put on that type of shit show. Damn, I mean, he didn't. He literally was. He literally was surviving towards the end of the fight. That's what I felt like. He was surviving. He was like, he felt Parker's power, and he was like, "Nah, no sir. I'm staying on. I was on the bike, and I'm getting back on the bike." You know what I'm saying? I was on the bike, but now I'm getting back on the bike. No sir. Like dude off Friday, when Debo hit dude had him sending. He said, "You want some too, Pop, or whatever?" He said, "No," and got in his car and left. Wilder felt that power and was like, "No." He didn't want to exchange. If you think about it, he wasn't doing a whole lot of exchanging with Parker. You know, he was on his back foot a lot of the night, man. He was on his back foot. He wasn't coming forward at all. I thought he would, but he didn't. He really didn't. But yeah, man, I've been on here almost an hour, you guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, man. Please, whatever you guys do, smash that like button, man. And if you guys want to follow me or donate to the Cash App, it's Corey Lee Boxing. On Cash App, Corey Lee Boxing on Instagram. Thank you guys for watching. This is Corey Lee Boxing, and we've definitely been back with another banger. Peace out, you guys.